Warning. This video will be heavily spoiling the 7 Deadly Sins Season 3 and HEEEY Season 4 Part 2. You're now aware of the problem, which means I can go on without regret. Quit now or assume the consequences. Enjoy! The anime world is a real mess. From the studios to financing, a lot of it can be criticized, and for good reasons. There is one entity, one group however, that is perhaps even worse than anything you may have ever witnessed. Ladies and gentlemen, prepare to be amazed as we dive into the most mysterious group of individuals ever to have existed on this planet. Anime fans. I know I didn't need to build up suspense since it's written in the title, leave me alone. More particularly, and because covering the whole topic could not even be done in as many useless episodes as there are in Naruto, I wanted to shed light on the most toxic behavior in my opinion, the over-the-top exaggerated hatred of bad animation. Let us start directly from the issue. For the three at the back of the class who may wonder what bad animation can mean, yes, I'm talking about you, Peter. Picture an anime you love. Bro, you're an idiot. Anyone who watches anime has witnessed bad animation, the others don't watch anime. Picture a work of art, a story, a movie that you love. An old animation movie is perfect. Imagine there's an animated adaptation of it, if it's not already animated, and you're watching it, you're enjoying it a lot. Everything is nice and smooth. You're fully immersed in the show. Then suddenly that happens. Anyone I think would be at least a little bit flabbergasted, right? For those who may not see why it is bothering to have awfully animated or just plain ugly scenes, that's because it inhibits the enjoyment, as you cannot take what happens seriously. As a viewer, you're taken out of the show and cannot even enjoy the scenario sometimes, leaving you bitter as you witness scenes that could have been mother flippin' epic. This kind of mistakes has happened several times over the past few years, among the most notorious cases being Nanatsu no Taizai, The 7 Deadly Sins Season 3 Episodes 12 and 13, the fight between Meliodas and Escanor, and HEEEY to the Top Season 4 Part 2. But where does such a curse come from? The anime industry, a phrase that regroups the studios, the production committees, the distribution network, and blah 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 of Japanese animation. This industry is, I think, starting to get well known for its debatable, to say the least, working conditions. First, there's a lot of pressure. It's globally common in the Japanese working culture, but animators really have it rough. Karoshi is a Japanese word meaning death of burnout by heart attack or suicide, and it's a terrible phenomenon. It slowly gets awareness, but still too little, if anything at all, is done to improve upon that in the Japanese animation world. For instance, beginner animators can get paid off ridiculous amount for their work and end up with around 850 euros at the end of a month for a job that takes 40 to 50 hours per week and supplementary hours that can pile up a lot. The Anime Dormitory Project page states that it's not uncommon for starting animators to end up with 30,000 yens at the end of a month, and that's $300 less than 300 euros. So the conditions are not great, and seeing how much a frame can get paid, you may think it's the reason why animators sometimes do a bad job on some shows. But it's actually not. All anime have approximately the same budget. A good estimate would be 2 million euros for 13 episodes. It goes for beauties as well as terrible mistakes. Money is thus not the main differentiating factor. The real lever, although skill, experience, the team, and many factors matter, is time. Most failures happen because studios run short on time and deadlines are impossibly hard to meet. For instance, The Seven Deadly Sins was given up on by A1 Studios to then be taken on by another studio who had to outsource it to a smaller studio that had less than a year to make it. It's very little time, and given to a studio with not much experience, it's only natural that it ended up this way. You may be thinking, well, why don't those idiot studios take more time? Haha, problem solved. You see, problem is, they're not the ones in power. The decisional power belongs to the production committee. That's composed of industrials, financiers, basically people with money who, well, finance the production of an anime and will earn all the revenue if the anime works, making it harder to raise the animator's salary. The problem lies in the fact that apart from the biggest studios, animation studios are not part of those committees because they have too little money and are thus forced to accept impossibly hard deadlines to survive. And sometimes it results in animation failures, quite naturally. To top it off, since viewers and thus production committees want shorter and shorter waits between every season of whatever they want to be produced, it would be reasonable to think about and fight the real cause. Now let's finally dive into the meat of the issue. I mean, be serious. If you, a random idiot watching, can be like, I can believe it's so ugly, they ruined the best arc. Trust me, a professional animator sees it as well. I don't want to imagine how rushed it must be like. How many of the frames gotta edit? But it's not over. I don't care, just add stuff, we gotta edit now, you have 2 minutes. And here comes a lusty Daichi. Even though in the case of HEEEY, the pandemic probably played a role. My message to you and to the world is pretty simple. If you're doing it, stop blaming the animators and the studios in general. No one deserves threats or death sentence or simply awfully hateful criticism, especially after working so hard and so much for so little money. While most of the people complaining are probably not even paying for the show. I know that even if they were paying, they would go in a very small part to the creators, but still. Blame the production committees. Perhaps sending them letters or emails is possible, I'm not sure. The higher-ups who manage time and money. And even if you blame someone, please be polite and constructive, or blame the ever-growing impatience of the market, which is probably the core root of the issue. No artist would want to produce that if they had the means to do better. Go further, I'll link in the description the Anime Dormitory channel and their crowdfunding pages that give a great overview of the situation many animators find themselves in. They're part of a project that aims at providing young animators with a safe place to stay and learn, then ideally create a healthy production studio, which they call the New Anime Making System project. You'll get more information over there in the description. One more thing, don't hesitate to criticize. Critics are the real optimists, as they try to envision perfection in every unperfect thing. But please do it in a healthy manner, and giving support even through letters or messages, instead of hate to animators who are working so hard. Supporting longer production times and encouraging the industry to change is, in my humble opinion, a much better thing to do than that. On that note, that's been it for me in this video. I hope I'll see you soon, and don't forget to eat those healthy veggies. Bye.